Ah, Uchimemashite. Hello, everyone. Today is the Bionicle tier list stream, and, well, I actually haven't seen too many, I haven't seen ahead. So these tier lists are fairly new to me, and, yeah. So, we'll do a few of these lists, but, I haven't, I have no idea what to expect. Alright, I don't plan to do everything here on these tabs, but I'll go through them, and then, we'll go from there. Okay. Sets. G1, G2. Tier lists. How about this? We'll start with both, heroes and villains from the shows. Not shows, I guess. From Bionicle's history. Some of them had movies. Never a show. Okay. If you don't know what Bionicle is, it was like a series of Legos. It's weird to say that they're Legos, because, well, it's kind of, it's been a while since they've used Bionicle parts in a lot of sets, let alone had Bionicles, at like, available to buy at the store. So yeah, there's that. And you know, I'm pretty upset about that. I'm pretty sad about that, but you know, time moves on. And well, actually, did you know that Bionicle was it was a IP that actually saved, original IP by Lego, that saved them from bankruptcy as well back in the day. So okay. And I'm gonna take this one out because it seems too biased. And then I'll add one more here. Add row above. I'll say this one will be called, second here. This one will be called Personal Favorites. And then we'll make this one. What color haven't they used yet? I'll use purple. Yes. But yeah, these used to be Lego sets that you could buy, and they were like robotic, and the lore for her Bionicle was crazy. So, starting off, we'll look at the evolutions of Golly, I guess, and no surprise really. And for anyone that doesn't know, Golly was the water Toa and was, I believe, the only female Toa in the original. Toas are the warriors that exist in Bionicle of the original cast. It was Tahu was the red one. Onuo was the rock element. Pohatu was the, no. Was Pohatu? Rock, Earth. Pohatu was Earth, I think. Liwa was air. For a lack, it should be nature, but his ability was flying, so. Air. And, my personal favorite there would be Kopaka. Kopaka had the power of ice, and, well, instead of giving him ice powers like any normal person would, they decided to give him the ability to freeze time in a small, like, radius, like, small proximity kind of thing. It was really broken, and, I don't quite know how that has to do with, ice, but freeze time, I guess. So, without further ado, I'll start with the first original list of Bionicles, starting with, I guess, Golly, since she's on here. I think her first original design is a S tier. I really like the diver look that she had, and I don't know. It's just she's overall great. I love the goggles. I love the translucent blue that they had for her figure back in the day. Here, let me see if I can find you a picture. Now, this was the one that, wait, let me see. See, in figure form, let me get a better, You know what? Yeah, let's use this one. In figure form, she had the blue plastic ear. It was translucent blue, and you could see like the head underneath the mask. It was really cool, and I think she was like the only Bionicle in this generation that actually had a mask like this. So she really stood out amongst the rest. Yeah, I thought that it was really cool that she came with these hooks. She was the swimming type. I don't believe she had flippers at this point. Oh, hey, Kathy. I'm just doing my Bionicle stream, tier list stream, so don't mind me. So yeah, she had these hooks. She would climb, and the trailers for everything that for these sets back in the day were crazy. Yeah, it was crazy times for sure. So I believe that she belongs in the A tier or S tier list. My bad. Then I guess the next original. So yeah, these are Bionicles. The next original one on the list here would be Kopaka, and again, he's the element of ice. He had like this really cool eye that like zoomed in and stuff. It's like a telescopic eye, and again, instead of the powers of ice and snow and whatever, they gave him the power to freeze time. So their abilities were it came from their masks, I believe. And so each mask had a different power. So technically speaking, Toa of water, like Golly, doesn't technically mean that they have the same abilities as her. Which I actually don't remember their abilities. Let me look that up. Toast. That's not what I'm looking up. Generation 1. Well, that's P.S. Might be talking slow now. I have a dare and it involves me texting. That's okay. Take your time. No rush. Let's see. Abilities and trait. No, that's not what I'm quite looking for. In Gen 1, there was... It was... not Takanuva. Was it Takanuva? No. Oops. Man, it's been such a long time. I didn't realize I'd be like this far behind. Toamata Toanuva. Right. There we go. Let's see. Ollie is right here. And if we go to her page, it says nothing. That is a little disappointing. Okay, well, she had an ability. I don't remember what it was, but yeah. Just because she had this mask, she had a different ability than other people that have the water element. They all have a base element, a power, and then like their mask would give them another power. And I can't stay for too long, or for long too, but me will watch VOD. Alright. Thanks for letting me know. Next would be Liwa, and when I was younger, I didn't love the little gaps right here in the mask, personally, but I grew to really like this mask a lot. I still think that Liwa would have sufficed from maybe having, instead of those gaps, like black filling, and these little gaps here, but I like his mask quite a lot. I think where this kit shined the most though was if you look up what? He had an axe back in the day. Not like his other form, but let me see. Yeah, his original form had the axe here, like this, and I don't know, it was really unique. He was like the only one that had this weapon. It was very different at the time for a Bionicle to have. So he really, oh my god, he really stood out to me. And they all had these sort of hands right here, but they were really okay. I'm blocking it with my head. Their heads were not heads. Their hands were really unique. Yeah, they had this they had these type of hands, and I thought these were guns when I was younger. But oops, me gotta go. Bye bye. Okay, bye Kathy. But yeah, these were not guns. These were fingers actually. So whenever they didn't have a hand that was holding a weapon, they had like free hands, I guess, and these worked as fingers. And a fun fact, actually, not all of their finger accessories for these hands were the same. Golly had 2 hooks, as you saw earlier in the the hero list, right? So she didn't have one of these hands. It's only for people that didn't have a free hand. And for Kopaka, he was the Ice Toa that I mentioned. Kopaka actually he didn't have a free hand either. I butchered that. He had a shield. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is a redesign, so don't look at that. Here we go. That's the original. See, so he, like Golly, didn't have the fingered hands that have like the 2 fingers or whatever. He had another hand, kind of like this one, to hold the shield. So very different. Yeah. Moving on, we have, let's see. We have Kopaka, Liwa, Bali, Hohatu. Hohatu was different. Hohatu had a gimmick where he would kick. The rest of them had a gimmick where they would kind of like swing with their arm, right? So they would swing with their arms with the gimmick on their backs, but Ohatu was upside down. It looks kind of janky now if you look. And since he had no weapons, handheld weapons, he just kicked rocks and stuff. So basically, I don't love Pohatu's design being upside down, but it is very unique. I despised these sorts of arms as a kid, but it was really unique. It was a really cool gimmick. And you know, if it was just ranked on masks, I would probably rank Pohatu a little higher because I do like the design of this mask personally. But because it is what it is, and because Pohatu is designed the way that he is, being upside down, although it's unique, I'm gonna put him at like a B tier. B tier because it's still unique and I still like the mask, but I don't like the overall execution and design. So that's like the only thing. Then it's a little different with Onuo. Onuo was the, like I said, I believe rock element, like dark. I don't know really how Onua maybe was his name, but he am I wrong? Am I not spelling it right? Huh? But yeah, he had a really cool design, I think. He had claws instead of the hooks. I'm sorry. I'm butchering their names. Onua like that. Okay. So I spelled a shiny member's name. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now he's coming up. See, that's how he looked back in the day. So this is like his first ever design. He had the claws. He had a hunchback, kind of like Pohatu. I didn't mind it too much. I did like this, the design of Onua, but I didn't like. I personally didn't put the claws this way. I made it facing forward, so it would like have like a clawing motion. So in that sense, that was really cool. He as well didn't have any free hands, so he had these arms instead, like Gali and Kopaka. So Onua is at an A tier. I don't like the hunchback, and I think that's like the only real complaint I have with the original design for Onua. But yeah, and I love the mask, by the way. The coat. I'm not gonna even try, but yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about that. I believe his ability was that his mask shined so you can see in the dark. It's really, it's not the best ability. Some of the abilities are kind of lame, so there is that. Yeah, moving on. After Onua is Tahu on this list, and Tahu is an automatic S tier, and I think he would have been my favorite if my brother hadn't been so persistent on liking Tahu a lot. Tahu has a really, really cool design, and he was the Toa of Fire, and his ability gave him like a force field of a sort. So that was really cool. He had a surfboard, I believe. No, he did surf on pieces of rock, and this is how he looked in his promotional art. Okay, this is terrible, but basically he was like everyone's to go to as a kid around me. He's like a really, really cool Bionicle that everyone pretty much liked just because he had the flame as a sword, and you know, overall he was just like just overall great design, very standard. Yeah, this hand as well. I believe him and Liwa were the only two from the original that had this sort of hand with the two fingers. So that automatically made Tahu and Liwa stand out. Most of them had this hand right here. And the Pohatu had like the little stubby arms. So Tahu is at a S tier. I can't put him at my personal favorite because I traded Tahu for Kopaka, so it is what it is. I don't really look back at it. I like the ability of Ice quite a lot. So yeah, that's the originals. So that was for the original Toa Mata, right? These are the Toa Mata. And then their upgraded forms were the Toa Nuva. Going back to Gali, I'm going to put Gali at a B tier. Personally, just because I didn't love the mask. It still had the snorkel design. But here, let me show you how she looked. I actually, this might be a little bit of a spoiler alert, but I didn't love the Toa Nuva designs all that much. I did really like that they had like cool armor. Like the silver bits were really cool, and I really liked that Bali came with the rudders, should I say, that helped her swim, and her swords would become like these flippers, so she swims better, and it's like a overall better design body wise and mechanic wise for the figure of the Toa Mata to Toa Nuva. But I just didn't love the masks going into that generation. So Polly's at a B. I want to put her higher because besides the mask, if she had the original mask and she looked the way that she did, LMAO, yeah, S, yeah. Kali is, yeah, yeah, if she had this original mask, I think she would be at an automatic S tier. But because she has this mask instead, and it's not even translucent, I'm kind of sad that she loses that into the new design. So for that reason alone, I do have to put Golly at a B tier, unfortunately. Then we go to Kopaka. I want to put that at A tier. I don't think I'm gonna put any of the Toa Nuva, except maybe we'll get to that. But I don't think I'm gonna put any of the Nuva designs really at S tier. But Kopaka is kind of like a little worse design than his original mask. Kopaka, for example, he had the shield. He had the instead of one weird ice sword. Oh, hi Nova. How are you? I'm just doing a Bionicle tier list, so don't mind me. But yeah, as I was saying, Kopaka had this really cool design. I like this design a lot. It makes Kopaka look cooler, body-wise. Again, a lot of these gripes I have with the Nuva designs were the masks. I just don't think they were cooler than the original Mata masks. So, again, the arm here is a returning arm from the original Mata design. But then this arm is like Kahu's original arm. And then they gave him skates as swords instead, which is really cool. And as you see, these studs on the bottom were to hold these skates, so you can actually had like a skating function. I love the extra added gimmick, and I'm just so upset that the masks kind of ruin it for me. I used to love these. I grew up with these ones first. Like all the other stuff were way before me. But the time I started to remember Bionicle most was around this time with the Nuva design. So they do have a special place in my heart, but the masks just don't really do it for me. So yeah, I want to put Kopaka at a high A tier. I still like it more than Onua. It's like, which one do I like more? I don't like Kopaka's mask, sure, and I like Onua's mask from Mata, but Kopaka has the better like gimmick and body design because Nuva just had really cool designs and like gimmicks. So for that alone, I have to put him a little higher than Onua in terms of the tier list. But yeah, that's where he is, and honestly, he might be the highest ranking one. But we'll go on. Onwards, we have what did we have? We had Liwa. Liwa also is at A tier, just shy of Onua. And for that reason, I'll show you why. Liwa it ditched the axe, so I didn't love that. I thought the axe was really cool, and it was really original. So I was sad to see it go for these like kind of standard swords. They're kind of aerodynamic, so I give it that. But they did reuse these swords a lot for other sets, and it kind of just made me a little upset because it kind of takes away from the uniqueness of Liwa. But yeah, his overall design is really cool. But I always thought it was really funny that his mask looked like a leaf. I'm pretty sure that was intentional, but that's besides the point. Again, loving the armor, love the silver bits with the Nuva designs. It took an already pretty cool design and made it infinitely more cooler. But the masks are the problem yet again. So yeah, A tier just under Onua. Mainly because there's two complaints here, just opposed to just the one complaint with Onua. So that's where I stand on that. Going forward, we have Onua again, and Onua actually was a huge upgrade. Not the mask, of course, but the weapons were a huge upgrade. Still had the hunchback to sell the idea that it was still him, but he had chainsaw swords. And before you start making Chainsaw Man references, okay, please hold off. He had different arm pieces, and these are completely new leg pieces. Golly has it for all of her appendages, but besides the point, he had the little studs on the bottom that would hold the chainsaws in place, and I guess he would use the chainsaws to dig through the caves with all the rocks and stuff. So that was really cool. And sure, I'm sad to see the claws, not present on this design, but chainsaws are much cooler than claws. So I gotta give it to Onua, and I gotta give it to the Bionicle team for already just making him an incredibly bigger Chad than he already was. So again, mask was the only complaint, and for that matter, I'm going to put Onua a little higher than Mata Onua, my bad. Yep. Pohatu. Now, how do we feel about Pohatu? First, let me show you Pohatu before you start making any of the judgments. Pohatu Nuva. Pohatu is just like my least favorite in terms of design, and I hope I don't really offend anyone with that. But because this is my list, so you can back off if you have any other complaints. But yeah, he had the claws. It was really cool. For the most part, it's like the same. He's still upside down torso wise. I don't love that. Still had the kicking shoes. This gimmick was just for Pohatu, both in Mata and Nuva. I like that they changed this to silver to further match with the silver armor bits that the Nuva upgrade gave all of them. And I do like the claws, but again, the resurgence of these arms, these really stubby arms, and like these I just don't like it. And the mask is not better at all. So if I'm being honest with myself, I have to put Pohatu at a C tier. It's not an improvement for me. It's like the weapons are cooler, and that's about it. So sorry about that, but yeah. Tahu lands himself at an A tier, right above Onua, and some people might say, but didn't you just praise Onua for having chainsaw swords? Yes, I did. But Tahu had something even cooler than chainsaw swords. He had these two swords. So instead of just having one sword and that's it. Oh, fish rounds. Warning. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm just rating Bionicles, but basically, as I was saying, hope everyone's doing well. Besides the point, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. Sorry, I get easily distracted, so I might ramble a little bit. But basically, the Nuva version of Tahu gave him these two flame swords that actually would become like a surfboard for him to surf on lava. So for that, instead of just like surfing on rocks like his Mata form, that's a huge added bonus. And everything about it is, I think, better. But the only thing I didn't love was the mask. Yet again, I didn't love how. I get that it was looking for a more biologic design and more lifelike design, but I just an A tier for me, just shy of Kopaka. And let me show you how they looked in the movie. Nuva movie. Like, for example, they look a lot better in movie form, in my personal opinion, and they made the masks work better. Although I still didn't love Tahu's mask in the movies. In the movie, should I say. There's only one movie of the Nuva. And I wish that there was a movie of Mata, but there isn't. But, what can you do? I believe this is besides the point. Yes, this is how they looked. The movie is, from my memory, pretty decent. And their masks do look better in this rendition. Although it does still look like their masks from their figures, I just feel like the little touch-ups they did to the masks looked better in the movie, personally. So in that regard, if I feel like I could have bumped up all their figures a little bit higher, this is just based on how I think about the designs, not on the characters themselves. If I'm judging it based on character, I'm first and foremost, they wouldn't put different versions of the same character over and over. So I'm pretty sure that this is like a design tier list, overall design. No surprise that the original Toas are my favorites, but yeah, that's just how it is. By the way, I finally somewhat managed to read the whole of Hangul and started into reading in Korean and such. Oh, how is that? I hope it's not too hard, and I hope that it's been, what should I say, manageable. Again, Korean can be quite tough, so I hope that you're hanging in there and that you find a lot of enjoyment in learning Korean. And also, congrats, because Korean, getting all those sounds correct are really a challenge in its own. Yeah. Normally, the list would have been done, but the Nuva design, with Nuva, with the movies and stuff, they added one more Bionicle, Takanuva. Which was this one. And he was the Mask of Light, which is really cool. And obviously, if you got this figure back in the day, you got like a really cool, well, this is a fan, well, here it is. Don't even bother looking it up on eBay, because, well, it'll be way too expensive. But yeah, this was really cool. Spoiler alert for the movie, but the movie has been out for a long time, so I do hope that you don't find offense to it. But this was like the speeder that he took to fight Makuta, which was the evil darkness Toa or whatever, but the villain basically. And so he took this and wrote that there. Let me see. There's a comment here. It says it has been difficult hearing the joined consonants, but I think pronouncing them is doable, at least for the words I learned so far. That's good. That's good. Yeah, combining them gets really tricky just because of how many combinations there are for sounds for Korean. But once you get that, once you understand and get the sounds and all the combinations, it becomes a lot easier. The hardest part about Korean, I believe, is when you start writing it, and then there are like silent consonants at times when you write it out, like anata, which is like anheta, which is like I didn't do it. An has like a hiet in there, a hidden hiet that doesn't really, it moves on to the next character, but it's still part of the beginning. It's hard to explain, but you'll see it and then you'll get what I mean. But yeah, Mask of Light, as I was saying, very cool, all white, very cool, different design with the mask. And this is actually my favorite of the Nuva mask, and I guess design wise, he had all the parts that Gali would have with the arms and legs. And he actually came with a shiny mask. I'll do my best. I wish you the absolute best, actually. So I'll cheer you on. I'll cheer you on. Sorry, my throat's a little dry, so I'll drink some water here. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, anywho, I'm a lurk. Thanks for bearing with me on the off topic. No problem. I don't mind going off topic. I do that quite often, so don't worry about it. But yeah, Takanuva is right here. He came with an extra really shiny mask. I don't know if I can find it, but it was really cool. And I love the mask to this day. It's probably still one of my favorites. So he's one of my personal favorites from a young age. I want to see, let's see, other mask. Here's how he looked in the movie. I actually, this is the one design that I actually preferred in figure form opposed to the movie form. But yeah, the mask was cool. If you don't know me already, I'm a sucker for pole arms, as you can see with the pole arm on my back. But yeah, this might have started my love for pole arms. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, really cool. Love the pole arm. I guess I can't find this other mask, which is unfortunate. Let me see. Shiny mask? Here it is. This is a really rare mask now, but anyone that got that set for Takanuva back in the day got this mask as well. So that was really cool. This picture doesn't do it justice, but besides it just being translucent plastic, there was bits of glitter that had like a rainbow hue to it if you put it in the sun. So this mask is if you have this mask, absolutely goated, absolutely a unit. You're an absolute unit if you still have this mask. Hey John, what's with that emo? Who is that? But yeah, this mask really cool. Love it. It took the figure and just made it better than it already was. This is already really cool. You're getting this speeder, and he actually rides the speeder. And these would hold the Rockshi slugs, I believe. So yeah, supremacy the code. Exactly. Takanuva is the code. Yeah. So personal favorites. I still prefer Kopaka a little bit, just because I really am a sucker for that telescopic eye. And I love the element of ice, but oh man, Takanuva is such a close second. Like, you have no idea. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Okay, going forward, we'll move on to the next generation, which was, what came after? It might have been Metru. Ah, right, Metru Nui. That movie was awesome. I really liked Metru Nui. And that's like the one that's the movie that it came out when I was really young, and it's the one I remember more. I went back and watched the first one, but this is the one that came. The movie was the one that for Metru was the one that first came out when I was really young and started to remember stuff. So with Metru, I guess the first one here would be, where is it? Metru. I guess we start with, and forgive me, but I actually don't remember their names, which is weird. But Metru was Okama, Nokama, Batao, Onua, which is really, this is the one that was giving me trouble earlier. But this is like Onu from Shiny with an A at the end. But this is not the rock. This is not the rock element. This is the earth element one. Oh, well, that's not a good picture. But yeah, Onua, Winua, and Nuju. Right. K Weeb. Okay, Yunsi. Anyways, the first one here would be, I believe this is Matao. Matao also had the ability to fly. I love this mask personally, but and I love the fact that it attaches to the back here. It becomes wings, and honestly, I think that this was a really huge upgrade to the Metru or the Nuvo body, because the Nuvo body was really cool and all, but this took it to a whole nother level for me. They had like a really cool, sleek design, and they started to become more less linkier, and like more posable in that regard. And honestly, Bionicles probably were better figures than most figures back in the day. But yeah, with Matao, he has like these really cool katana looking swords. And I just thought that was really cool. I really liked his arrogance from a young age when I watched the movie. So for that, I want to put him at a personal S tier. I love these masks. I really do. I think going forward, Bionicle just got a lot better when we got to Metru. After that, looking at this list, after Matao, we get to... There is... Well, we'll go with Vakama, because I don't see anyone else. Well, I'm like, not really looking hard enough, probably, but I just want to get to Vakama. Vakama looked really cool, personally. I like Vakama. He had a really different weapon at the time. Vakama had, instead of a sword or any of those, he had a disc launcher. He was a mask maker. He was really, really unique in terms of like character lore and everything. And he was like one of those people that were made the leader of the team, but he wasn't made to be the leader. Oh, hi, Ellen. You might. This is I'm in the middle of ranking Bionicles, but welcome to the stream. Yeah, so he had a disc launcher. It would go onto his back, which is a really cool gimmick. And every single, almost every set from the Metru, let's say era, had discs. So he had like plenty of discs that you could collect. And I don't know. The fact that he's a mask maker and he had discs, I don't know. Very, very interesting character. And the mask was really something else. I love this mask a lot. Yeah. I don't know. There's not too much to say here, but Vakama is just like really cool. And honestly, in terms of design, I want to say that Vakama is a little higher than Matao, personally. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. Next we have, was it Nuju? Nuju was the water one, I think. No, Nuju was the ice one. Okay. So now that I showed you Nuju, I have to show you Nuju here, which is right here. I like that it continued to show the telescopic eye. I'm a sucker for that. I love that design. So here's the thing. I'm biased whenever there's the ice element Bionicle. I'm gonna say it now, so please don't be surprised if they rank pretty high. But Nuju had these snowshoes swords. It's kind of weird to explain, but they doubled as snowshoes. That's why they're spiked. I thought that was really cool, really unique. Really cool. These also peg onto his back, but onto his feet as well. And for that alone, personal favorite. Right there. Yeah. The mask was... It works for Metru. I don't think it works for anyone else, but for this point in time, I thought it was really cool. I would have put Vakama on my personal favorites, but the way that my brother and I worked, we both liked the white and red Toas a lot. So to split it at a young age, we said you could like one or the other, but you can't like both. Because we would collect them. Like the good part about having a younger brother is that you didn't have to buy all the sets on your own. You know, you could share the sets, and you know, it was like a shared collection. So with that in mind, he took the red Toas and I took the white Toas. I'm not really I don't really look back and regret it at all, because I do like the white Toas a lot, the ice Toas. But that's it for that. I actually dressed up as Nuju for Halloween way back in the day. Good times, good times. You know, back when you were allowed to put on masks and stuff at school and Halloween. So that was something else. Yep. Going forward, we have let's see these names. Yeah, Angu. Holly was the water one. There we go. I'll show you Holly first. Holly is probably my least favorite in terms of design, just because I didn't like her. No, that's not her name. What was her name then? No Comma. My bad. Holly's goated. No Comma, however, not so much. Her mask was probably the absolute worst out of the bunch, unfortunately, which it's a change when she gets to Gen 3. But for Gen 2, for Metru, easily the worst. Great design overall, because like they all had an upgrade with the bodies, so there's not too much to say about that. But the swords were my least favorites. And the mask, just, it's like a fish. And I didn't like these bumps on the top here. So I'm gonna put her, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna put her at D. There's nothing really redeeming about that. And I love the color blue, and I can't do anything about that. That's how I feel about No Comma's design personally. No hard feelings. Someone had to get the boot at some point in this team. It just so happens that the mask really drags down her overall design for me. So, sorry No Comma, but not so sorry. Then we have Onua. Onua had a pretty cool mask, and I actually didn't really like it as a kid, but the more I looked at it as I grew older, I really enjoyed it. You got these really cool, like, how do I explain it? They're kind of like, they flail around and they like catch onto like bits and pieces of rock or when he's climbing. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that the engineering for the weapons were really cool. I like how he looks in the movie personally a little more. Just because it fills in the gaps that I don't like when the masks have gaps personally. It like shows way too much here. So I like that it fills in those gaps. Although I don't love that these are eyebrows. But it makes sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna knock that. He kind of, for me, this is just for me. You don't have to feel this way, but his movie design kind of reminds me of like a angry Wally. So, yeah. I'm not like a fan of the color brown or by any means. But this mask here was really cool. The design was already cool. I loved the upgrade. The weapons were really unique. And for that, I have to at least put, let's see, Onua at least a B tier. I want to say higher B because the body is like absolute perfection. But you know, I do wish that it was a little less gappier on the mask. But I do like the mask a lot. It's very unique, very different. Onwards, we have. Is that it? Wait, let's see. 1, 2. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm missing Wenua. Wenua was the rock type, and Wenua. Wenua. Excuse me here for making such lame jokes, but Wenua had these I don't know how to describe these weapons. They combined together to be like a sort of drill almost. Like a jackhammer. Yeah, there we go. And I guess they're kind of cool alone. And the mask was really cool. I like this mask personally in figure form opposed to the movie form. And yeah, he's one of the cooler designs, but he's not like S tier like Matao or Wakama for me, or even Nuju. So for that, he's an A tier for sure. We'll put him at like really high A tier, like maybe at the top. But that's how I feel about Wenua. But that's Metru. The movie was great. Makuta was still the villain, but they had this thing, Toa Metru Mask of Time. On the figure, it's very different because you have to remove the mask altogether, and it was like a mail-in order thing, so you had to mail in something to get this mask. This one, yeah, this mask, it would go on top of the figure, Kanoka mask, right? Oh shoot. It was the yeah. Regardless, it was cool. This is how it looked in figure form. I don't know if this yeah, there we go. It is a cool accessory, but it putting on this mask risks the top half of the head looking kind of naked and bare. So for that, I never was able to get this because my parents didn't know how to mail in or do the mail in contests, and I had no idea. And my friends that had this mask, they weren't gonna give it to me. So yeah, I liked how it would. I wish that we can go back in time and kind of find out a way to put the mask over the mask like this. That's how it was in the movie, personally. I like that a lot. This was the mask of time as well, oddly enough. But this was like a bigger proximity than Kopaka's mask. And this could actually, I believe, rewind time even. So this was actually a really, really powerful mask. But the thing is, perfecting this mask was nearly impossible. And it does break, because I don't think the powers are like too much for any mask to really bear. So for that alone, that lower bit, I thought that was really cool. And I guess it gave the mask a cool nerf. Let me show you Wanoa's movie design. He looked like this, and looking back at it now, I think I'm gonna eat up my words here a little bit. But basically, you know what? Forgive me earlier. I said that when Onua was the one that had the glowing mask, but it was actually Wenua. Wenua had the glowing mask ability, which was incredibly lame, but you know, that's besides the point. But yeah, no, this is how he looked in the movie. I don't love it as much. He had like a unibrow, which I didn't like. But yeah, no, the character is solid. The Metru characters are solid. So, yeah. I didn't collect too many Viraki, I believe. They were called Viraki, the villains from the 3rd generation. But yeah, this isn't a villains list. And did I already rank? Oh no, yeah, I did. Moving on, we go into Metru, into Hordika. Hordika was like it's like a weird. This is, I believe, the last movie I ever saw. I know there was like 1 or 2 other movies, but this is the only one. This is the last one I owned on DVD. Hordika was like a what if story, which was really interesting. And like talking about Bionicle now, it's like really interesting how the lore came to be. It's like really hard to follow as a kid, but as an adult, like if you go back and really look at go back and read the stories and stuff, it's very unique, very interesting. I like it a lot personally. So there's that. I didn't actually get to collect a lot of these. I don't know why, but I'll be honest with you. Some masks work for me in Hordika, and some masks really didn't. And they were really like, you never saw these masks again, I don't think. Or I don't actually remember seeing these masks again. I just remember seeing Okama's mask and being really disappointed. But yeah, this is a what if movie about what if they had failed or something. The Metru Toas. It's still them. So there's that. Yeah. I don't remember this movie as much as the other two. But, you know, going into the list, we have Matao, and he's a personal favorite in this design, personally. I think his mask is the coolest here. Same with Nuju, because again, Ice Toa. Let me show you these guys. Matao looked, I think even cooler like this. The swords were cooler like this. it loses the gimmick of the flying element, unfortunately. But I started to like that it became more posable as a figure. It wasn't like the spin and then like both arms move kind of thing. I didn't love that. I loved that as a kid, but growing up now, like it's not really a design that I crave to go back to too much. Yeah, they made it so that when you twist this knob here, it would move this arm. I think that was really cool. I like the eyes. The masks, again, were really unique. And so the Hordika designs do rank kind of high just because of how unique the designs and masks were. And instead of a disc launcher, they had they had like these spinning whatever the heck they were on their backs. I forgot what they're called. Like, it's been a long time. But these spinning circles on their backs, and that was like a cool thing. It was like Beyblade. You like would rip, I guess, in the terms of like Beyblade, and then it would let go of like this flying disc, which was really cool. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of these. I don't know why. I didn't really pick these up. I remember liking the spiders or whatever from the enemies from Hordika were really cool. They were like the spiders, but they were like cool. I don't like spiders, but they were like cool spiders. You get what I'm saying? I bet you don't, but you know, that's besides the point. Let me show you Nuju. Nuju, he looked like this. I like that the swords started having like a two-tone look to him. Yeah, just a really cool design. Not too much to say here. That's not it. But yeah, just a cool design. Maybe my favorite, besides Matao from this generation. And then No Comma actually gets an upgrade. I actually like her mask this way, and for that, I'll put her at an S tier because that's a really cool mask. So it's a big improvement from this mask. Going forward, we have Onua. Onua's mask was an A tier, and like figure overall was like an A tier. I want to put him right there. And then after, it would be... There he is. Wenua had a slightly cooler mask, but just right here. And then for Vakama, as much as this hurts, because I love Vakama as a character, but the mask just wasn't it. Makes him look kind of like a monkey, and well, I don't really love monkeys, and I don't love that Vakama looks like a monkey, so see, you get what I mean? It looks kind of like even here he looks more gorilla-like. Not the best, unfortunately. It's my least favorite. It's weird because like No Comma and Vakama like switch sides on this generation, personally, for me. So that's how I feel about the Hordika. Oh, I totally forgot. Leocon from Metru. Leocon was the one that like was the Toa when the rest of them were not Taragas. What were they? What are they called as kids? They're called Matoran. There we go. Leocon was also how do you spell his name? Dang it. He was a Toa Fire as well. And he also had a surfboard, but like he actually floated with, like, I guess not floated but glided with that surfboard. There's that. No, actually I think he had like a Silver Surfer thing where he would actually fly on the surfboard. And he came with this rhinoceros thing. I don't remember the name of the rhinoceros. I know it said it, but I'm not even gonna try to attempt to pronounce it. He had really cool weapons. I wish that it was like the movie where he actually held them upright. But these would combine on his feet and become like a surfboard yet again. And instead of silver, he had, or I guess, how do I say this? He had, these are all mocks. They're just creations here. He had gold bits opposed to just having solid colors, so it really changed up the design of just being one color. And I want to put him at personal favorite. I really like him as a character, and I also really like his mask. His mask is maybe, if not my favorite mask in Bionicle. I'm not too sure. I don't quite remember, but this mask here is like really, really cool, and it's just overall, I really like that mask a lot. So that's where it is on this list. Going forward, we finished Hordika just now. After Hordika, we get to Mari and Anika. This is the time when the the Paraka started showing up, and I love the Paraka a lot, but unfortunately, we're not talking about Parakas yet. We're talking about Anika. Anika. There we go. And that's how they looked. They had the they had the All American Rejects song in their commercial, and honestly, huge improvement. I love the design of them. I didn't love the masks. The masks are terrible. They're rubber, and like I just don't love the masks in this generation. But the bodies were such a huge upgrade, and since that they moved on, with the cog, they moved on from the cogs to like actually having posable figures. These were it, and they had light up weapons, which were, if you were a kid at this time and you had these were incredibly sick. And on top of that, they had these launchers that would shoot like these different colored balls, right? And that was really cool. I liked the translucent plastic on, I want to say, Motoro. Motoro was my favorite. And to no one's surprise, Ice Element, woo. So, yeah. If I'm ranking them just on character, Motoro would be like personal favorite. But because of his design and because of how the masks are, all the Anikas are really kind of like B or lower. I wanted to start with Motoro because he's my favorite. For Holly, let me just show you Holly's mask. First, Motoro. I think Motoro's was like the least offensive of the bunch, personally. But even then, Motoro's mask was like not it. It's just, I didn't like the rubber masks. What can I say? It's an ugly mask. And that might start some controversy on its own, I'm sure. But yeah, just this wasn't it. It was over like this really weird looking head thing, and it gave them like just solid green colored eyes, which really killed the uniqueness of them, I believe. But yeah, these are the Anikas. Holly's right here. Let me get a better picture. Holly. I'm always gonna spell these names wrong, I bet. Large? There we go. She had a cool weapon, as you would assume. But this mask and the teeth right here? No. No way. It's like a snorkel going way into your nose. How can I like this design? How can anyone like this design? No. Also, okay. Of the two Anika chest pieces, which was like that Motoro, I don't remember his name and I don't remember his name had. They have the cooler chest pieces. But these Joller, Holly, and Kongu, right? They had like my least favorite chest of the two. Let me see. She's blocking it here, but Here. I also like the tie-dye in this generation, yeah. But anyways, besides the point. It had like this sharper look to it, the thinner look to it, and I don't really like the look of thinner armor, personally. So, for that alone, it had to rank a little lower for anyone that was unfortunate to have this design. So, going back to it, Holly, C tier. Weapon's cool. Well, body, for the most part, is cool. But I didn't like the chest armor, and I didn't like the mask. I really dislike the mask. So, I believe the... For some reason, I'm getting the memories of... like, sudden surge of memories, and I believe that the Earth Toa in this generation was called Hewitt. Which is weird. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, I was right. Hewitt had... he wasn't brown at all, actually, in this generation. He was yellow and gray, which, again, I'm not a fan of the color brown too much, but so I like this going forward. It was like metallic gunmetal gray and yellow. The mask wasn't the best. I didn't like any of these masks going forward, but I love the chain. He was the only one with it, and he had a light up axe that also... okay, all of these weapons doubled up as a sort of projectile weapon of a sort. It became like a gun. Here's the light up feature. You click that button and they would light up. They were really, really cool. And I would buy Bionicles again, but I'm not... I need more money. And inflation has really ruined Bionicle altogether with how they cost, how much they cost and everything. So there's that. But Hewitt, since the only thing I don't like about him is the mask, I'll put him at A tier right about here. Everything else is like, I really like Hewitt. And if you just change the mask, I really think that you have something really solid here. Here. But the mask is just not it for me. Yeah, it has teeth, and it kind of looks like he's like grinning at you. Like, hey, what's up? but unfortunately, just, the mask wasn't doing it for me. After that, we have Dollar. Dollar had a bit of a cooler mask, in my opinion, but you know, he had the thinner armor. He, I believe, was the leader. You know what? Like Nuva and Nuva Mata, these guys were loved so much that they had a second generation. They went from Inika to Mari, which I'll get to after this, but yeah, I like the gold bits on his armor. His mask is not the greatest. Kind of reminds me of a crab. For some reason, as a kid, I always thought that his mask reminded me of Mr. Krabs. I don't know why. There's no reason for it. And there's really no correlation. Looking at it now, I don't see it. But as a kid, just this mask was, I don't know, it's compared to Mr. Krabs in my mind. I like translucent plastics. He's the only other one, I believe, of the Inika to have translucent plastic. The only problem with translucent plastic like this is it's great for design, but they break really easily. These were really brittle pieces. So if they broke, they you'd just be one sad kid. But yeah, him and Motoro were the only ones with the translucent parts. So Joller ranks fairly higher than, let's say, other ones. I don't think higher than Hewitt, but I want to put him at B tier here. Yeah. All solid characters, by the way. I wish that they had continued doing movies, because I believe that people wanted movies for Inika and Mari a lot. But to be fair, Inika did have a game, which if I could stream, I definitely would. Yeah. It came out such a long time ago. But it was like one of those Lego games. Yeah, it was in that era where either they were a hit or miss. I don't remember if it was fun. I remember having fun with it, but like, it could be different if I went back and played it. and my nostalgia would probably help rank it a little higher. Okay, the rock Toa in Nico was Nuparu. Nuparu, in this generation was pretty low on my list as well. I had totally forgotten how he looked as a figure, but I think that it's really funny that they have like this grinning look to them. Let's see. I think it's cool that they had he had claws. He had like a scope, like a laser sight on his weapon, which probably helps a lot with his design. He had the better chest piece. He didn't have the best color separation, which is fine, but then he's smiling. Sorry. I'll try to compose myself. I don't know. He has like this punk design, and then he's just smiling at me as if you can trust him to look after your like dog when you go somewhere for a long period of time. So in terms of trustable, I would put him at S, but in terms of design, I have to put him at like a B, right underneath Jollar. He was the only Toa in this generation that didn't actually have the launcher on his other hand because of his claw. So he had it on his back, which was really cool. So that alone makes him probably a little higher than he should be. But that's how I felt about that. And I believe that's everyone from Anika. Oh no, that's a lie. I totally I missed Kongu. I talked about him. Kongu, there we go. He had a crossbow and slash axe. So I thought that was really cool. I thought he looked really cool. I think he's like the second best in terms of like design and mask wise. He had his teeth showing too, but it was like kind of, how do I explain this? Nope, this isn't a good picture. Here, this is the picture of the figure. Yeah, here it is in like gun mode, I guess. Unfortunately, you know, he had my least favorite of the chest pieces. So that ranks him a little lower. I like the color separation a lot on Kongu. You could see that one foot was like almost fully green, except for here on the back with the silver and here in the front with the silver. I thought it was really cool. I like the asymmetrics of it. And the mask is really cool. I think I would have liked this personally a lot more if he had just the other chest piece. I like that in right here. I don't know if you could see it. I can't zoom in anymore, but the mask is split in half here, and it's a bit more armored on this half. I really like that asymmetrics. I like that he has like sharp teeth and he looks angry. Even the eyes are a little asymmetric. It's like the armored bit kind of closes off and like hides a bit more of his eye. So I think in terms of design, he was probably the best besides Motaro. And he's right here. Kongu, where's Motaro? I put him here? Wait. If Motaro, okay. They're all B tiers. Kongu is like the highest. You know what? He worked himself up to A tier, for sure. And the more I think about it, the less I like Nokama because of the mask. No, I'll put it at E tier. Yep. I'll make any big arrangements afterwards. We're moving on to what I think was like the peak of Bionicle design personally, which was Toa Mari. Mari was when they went underwater. It was the Anika team underwater, and I think they all had really cool designs in this generation. Mari had the underwater thing going. They had Daughtry for the trailer, which was something else. And let's see. I'll open as many of these as possible. This is really weird for me because, oh my god, these are terrible. Huh. basically, I'll go into them one by one. Amari's designs. Holly here, automatic S tier. Probably the best mask in this set. She went from like the worst design to the best design, in my opinion. She had wings in this, and they like really did well by the character. They did the color separation better, and it fit with the underwater theme of it all. She had this claw here. I don't know if there's any like good pictures. I guess this is it. This is like peak Bionicle for me. They had the launcher here, which was a lot of fun to play with. It was pumped through air. You would pump it with your fingers, and then each bit would shoot out, which was really cool. And then she had this claw sword thing, which is really cool. The mask, I said, is the coolest. I like this little stud right here. I like the little harpoon here, and I like the breathing apparatus that goes into her back. Loving the wings. Blue and green here just work in harmony. I like how the chest piece comes together. Holly, yeah, goated design. Automatic S tier. Then we go to Hewitt, and I believe Hewitt was, although I like him more in this design, it was a bit of a back step for me personally, just because I don't know what it is. Oh, was it? Did I say Hewitt? I guess it's Yuki at this point. Whoops! I thought I had it completed. I had the name down for sure earlier, but I guess not. But yeah, it's weird to have like a earth element underwater. But you got the chains again. That was like a persistent thing that came back, and you know it's very it fits the underwater aesthetic quite a lot. I also really like that he had the bits here to add to the launcher, but I don't like, and you know, the whole arm here is just for the launcher. So that was really cool. But I don't like that this was backwards. I know you could make an argument about how you could have changed it, you know, flipped it, but then it kind of ruins the color separation, and so that's like the only thing. So unfortunately, because of that, I do have to rank him a little lower. I still like his overall design a bit more than the Anika. Maybe not body-wise. I think the Anika body looks cooler, but this mask is definitely cooler. So I gotta find a middle ground here. If I put Hewitt here, I just think, oh, Hyuki, my bad. Hyuki's newer design in Mari was just a little bit better than that. And yeah, that's that for Hyuki. After that, we have what did we have after that? We had Jawler. Jawler had a really cool design. Jawler, he's the only one that came with a pet, actually, in this generation. He had like a little crab pet. Yeah, like that. Oh well, that's a redesign. He had a really cool mask, I think. Yeah, this is really cool. The his pet would peg to his back. I love the chest armor. I love the sword. Overall great design. Overall great improvement. And honestly, the Mari, like I said, most of it is pretty much S tier. And for that, I have to put him somewhere here. I want to put him right underneath Holly here. Then we have Motaro. Motaro, let's see. This was my favorite design as a kid. But I don't really love it as much as an adult. Mainly because I don't love the head being hunchback. I love the claws, but there's not too much for me to say. The mask was cool, I guess. I'm looking for if I'm fishing for compliments for this guy, and I guess the shoulder pieces were great. This is terrible. Here. Yeah, this is how it looked. I love that it had the tubes running from the arm, the cannon to the back. Again, the hunchback ruins it. I did this a little differently when I got the figure. I put these as the arms and I put these as the legs. And I found a different chest piece and I made him, upright. I don't like the hunch look personally. If it weren't for that, it'd be higher. I think it's almost perfect, but for that, I do have to put him at, unfortunately, an A tier, which is upsetting because I wanna put him with the rest. I think the mask is really cool, but that's about it. No, I like. We're like at the verge of greatness, and I want to like all the Mari designs, but it had to be the sacrifice of my own favorite. Moving on. Yeah. Did we do everyone in Mari? No, I don't think so. Oh, Kongu. Kongu was the one that I got much later as a kid. And he had 2 launchers instead of 1. He just like, he was like, forget mealeeing. I'm just gonna shoot everyone up. Ooh, that might sound bad out of context. What I'm trying to say here is that he ditched the sword for long range, and he's kind of like heavy arms in a sense with Gundam Wing and stuff. Yeah. This is how he looked. I thought he looked really cool. Love the breathing apparatus. Don't love the beard parts. I love that it had like that really weird, cool rebreather in the back of his head. I like that he just became a total buff dude. I wish it had a bit more of that feral look that he had in his Anika form. But all in all, Kongu is still a really cool design. So Kongu is at a S tier for sure. But just underneath Joller and just underneath Joller. And then I guess one more person I'm forgetting. I think this is my personal favorite in terms of design from this generation. It's Nuparu, which is funny because he's like one of my least favorites from like the generation before. But he had the cool like shield, I guess. That's like a shield and sword. Not to make a reference to Pokemon or anything, but he had a really cool personal like he had my favorite mask in this generation. It looked like a skull. And I like that he had like flipper feet. And he had these really cool arm bits right here and on his legs as well. I personally would have changed the leg ones to be a little different from the arm ones to give him a bit more of the armored look on the bottom. But then again, they're supposed to be like, I guess, hydrodynamic, which doesn't make sense for like Kongu, who's just an absolute unit of a beast. But yeah, Nuparu, favorite. You know, personal favorite in terms of design. I'll put him even right here. Yeah, right here. Yeah. So that's it for Mari, I believe. Going forward, we had after Mari, it's Haga. What's Haga? I lose track of the names at this point. I didn't get them as much, but the Haga. Okay, just based off the design, I've never owned these figures. They had the gimmick of the Metru, and because they were from the Metru timeline, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember the lore behind these guys, but they were like guardians of a sort. And this one was a very unique mask at the time. This one we've seen before. I like this mask a lot. I never owned these guys. And at this point, I wouldn't want to go back to the Metru. But they did look really cool. I'll give them that. The green and gold, just because of the color combo alone, I want to put them at A. And the mask was really cool. This one here, I want to put them a little higher just because I like the mask a little more. I don't know their names, by the way. I didn't own these. My friends did. But I guess I never really owned anything that wasn't, it never really stood out to me. I had moved on from the Metro design onwards, like, not design, but like, let's say their mechanics, or figure-wise. So, unfortunately, you know, I can't do much about that. Oh, well, I guess Kordak? No. Anyways, moving on, we have... What are they called? I'm trying to remember what they're called. It's the original team again, but I just don't remember what they started calling them at that point. Air? Let's see, that's a really cool picture. Oh, you know what? Is Kordak in here? I don't think so, but Kordak was part of Mari, and this was like my favorite of the figures. He wasn't part of the original team. He came with a speeder too. Let me see if I can find a picture. Yeah, he had like a cool little sword here. He had Holly's mask, my bad. So it's hard for me to not like this design and look. It took what I didn't like about Hyuki and improved it on the chest part. So yeah, there was nothing to hate and everything to love about this figure. Unfortunately, I don't think it shows any pictures of him with his speeder. But no, he was really cool. That's it, if you could see it, but yeah. But he's not on this list, so I can't do anything about that. Oh, I'm missing, I guess I'm missing one more person, and that was, man, I'm like blanking on these names here. Hyuki. I totally forgot about Hyuki here. Ah. Hyuki. There we go. Hyuki. No, we did Hyuki then. Oh. Then no, yeah, we're finished with Mari. Then after Mari, it's... Okay, Kordak. Dolphins? It's the original Toas again. I don't remember, but I'm just gonna go by name, I guess. It's the original Mata team. Holly comes back, and she had like this design. I'm hoping that this says something about it. Huh? At this point, I had, you know, like kind of fallen off of Bionicle, to be honest with you, but I really thought that they were really cool looking in terms of like their design. But also, I don't speak this language, whatever language that they're... This one. Mystica. There we go. Oh, Mystica. There it is. Yeah, and it's been at this point, I was just not really into Bionicle as much. So that was a shame, but I thought it was cool that they took the momentum of what's it? Ari and went forward. But Golly's mask to me, even though it's cool, is kind of a downgrade because it takes all the uniqueness of Golly away. I like the weapon, I like the scope and everything. But because of that, I do have to rank it. I want to say like low A tier. Mystica Liwa. was probably my favorite. I just really liked the airborne look. And he's always been like the flying type, so I thought the airborne stuff just was a perfect touch. He had like jetpacks, as you can see here. He had this launcher, which was really cool. The sword was really cool. It's like a good redesign of his original sword. Well, Nuva sword. And yeah, I like these fans right here. I like the filter in front of the mask. It's like a little clear piece that you would put on before putting on the mask. So for that, I believe I owned this one, all things considered. That's a personal favorite of mine as well. And you know what? The mask was so cool that it's right here. After that, we have... Seems here that Onua was the next one on this list here. And Onua also had a really cool mask, but it kind of reminded me of Hyuki's mask a little bit. So the uniqueness of his mask is kind of like not there. Still a cool mask. Probably one of the cooler masks in this generation. He had a shield on his shoulder, and instead he had his launcher had like a laser sight. Hey, Asher Cormac. Ooh, Bionicles. Yeah, Asher. You're just in time. I'm not done with my list yet, but I'm like going through all the generations of the heroes and ranking them on designs. I liked him. I like Onua's design here a lot. I want to put him at S tier, but maybe right here. I still really like their original designs a lot. I'll give you a better look at these this tier list after I'm done. I'm like kind of speeding through so I can make some changes to it. Pohatu. Speaking of, did you have a favorite Bionicle, Asher? Here is Pohatu in the... It wasn't called Mystica, I don't think. Fantoka, right. Fantoka. Were they ground? No, they were also air, but I don't know why they would split into a different generation. Pohatu, although it's an upgrade in my opinion in terms of design, I like the launcher here. I even like the claws. It like improves on the Nuva claws that he had, and since he looks buff now instead of like having like this weird torso thing. But that's the best I could describe it, like explain it. But I think his mask is a little bit lacking in this generation, unfortunately. The only time I ever really liked Pohatu's mask was in the first generation. So Pohatu is still an A tier. I think overall everything about him is a upgrade, but the mask was like not doing it for me personally. So there's that. And then after that, there's Mystica Ahu? I think he's the only one left. Only one left. No. I'm missing Mystica Kopaka, which is like, how am I missing that? Kopaka. There we go. Again, one of my personal favorites. Loved him too. I think now thinking back at it, I owned his figure as well. Even though I wasn't like too into Bionicle at this point, I still really liked Kopaka, I guess. I like that they gave the I don't know if you can see here. I want to get like an overall body shot if I can. There we go. So this is supposed to be like his ice skate or whatever. He had wings, which was really cool. I overall like it. He had the Rakshi feet, which is really unique. And his eye had his telescopic eye had like a red dot, like a red eye. How do I say this? Laser sight. So that was really cool. Really great redesign altogether. And for that alone, I would probably rank Kopaka Well, he's my personal favorite, but like I rank him just underneath Liwa, just because I thought Liwa's was such a great redesign, and that's it. In terms of their, Matoran, I don't really care. Like their masks are cool and everything, but their figures were not they were like tacked on afterthoughts. And then I'm missing Fantoka Tahu. Let me show you Fantoka Tahu. That's not Tahu. That's Tahu. Tahu. There we go. Nope, that's still not him. That's him. There we go. Yeah, this mask. I like this mask quite a bit. It's not very Tahu, I admit. And I kind of miss his swords, to be honest. He traded it for this spinning thing or whatever. The design's cool. I really like the the thrusters. And the gun's cool, I guess. The boxes they came in were so fire. Yeah, they were. They really were. And I think I do prefer the Mystica designs over the Fantoka designs, just because I love the arrow. I like the flying motif. But yeah, Fantoka, Mystica, everything was pretty cool. I think Tahu is at a S tier, but I want to put him like right under Onua, which is like the first and only time that I actually prefer Onua over Tahu. What's the matter, Yinzi? You like Tahu? I might get crucified for that for my tier list later. And then I don't really know what these ones are. I think this is like it's still Tahu, but again, his original design, great. I believe this figure was like, it came later. I didn't have it. I can't really. They make another Takanuva? I guess they did. I wanted this one. I think that the mask was a downgrade personally. But this is like one of those ones where I regret not getting it as a kid. Because, I like Takanuva a lot as a character, but... Well... This is also incredibly hard to track down now. I don't know what they were feeding my boy, but like he got really big and strong out of nowhere. Let me see if I can find a... Yeah, this is how he looked. I don't know if I can like zoom in the picture. Unfortunately, I cannot. Let me see if I can go to Bricklink. This is like a good place to buy. Yeah. No, I can't really show you a better picture, unfortunately. But yeah, Takanuva looked like that in this generation. The body's really cool. I wish I had him. The weapon's really cool as well. Didn't like the mask. I thought the mask was a downgrade. So I want to put him at A tier, right above Matoro. And then as I'm seeing here, he had another figure alongside Tahu. I didn't have this one either, but it looks cool. It's a cool redesign. I don't know why they changed this mask to silver. But yeah, I think that is like, I don't think that's a personal favorite. It's still an S tier. Right here. And then the last one, this one was supposed to be like Matanui as a Toa of a sort. Or not Matanui, that's the island. He was legendary Toa. He was the Toa that Bakuda had defeated in the beginning of time. I don't remember his name. I'm like blanking on it. Joven? Was it Joven? No, not. So basically, I can't show you this because I don't remember the name of it. Unfortunately. Let me see. List of Bionicle over time. What year was that? Titans was the one that we just saw with Tahu and Takanuva. So it must have been a little after that. Maybe not. No. Mari. Mari was really good. Titans again. Stars. Stars was the one that we were looking at, not Titans. And then the last one was 4 stars, I think, maybe. I didn't like the Bionicles in the last generation, but I don't want to drag this out any more than I already have. So all I remember is this being an S tier. I want to even put him right here. So yeah, that's my list. Now to go through this list to make sure that everything is in order. I still like Kopaka a little more. So this is my personal favorites. Then my S tier, we had Holly, Joller, Kongu, Kama, Matao, Takaduva, Tahus, both in stars and regular. Liwa, Dolly. No idea. Winua. No. Onua. Tahu again. And Nokama. In A tier we had Takanuva, Botoro. You see how, but this is so yeah, no, this is my list. I don't really have too much to say about that. There's no really any real F tiers. Nokama comes really close just because I really don't like her original design. But yeah, that's that. Let me see if I can do like a villains list. Huh. This is very overwhelming for me, to be honest. If I just stop at heroes? No, I want to attempt one more list. Just don't know which one. I guess I'll do like generations where I stand on these. Starting off, we had like Makuda and that generation of figures. This is like an S tier. These are S tiers. Takanuva is A tier in this generation. I forgot what it's called. The Borocks were all S tiers. So, but to be honest, I did like the original Borocks a little more than the silver Borocks. Enika and Fantoka are S tiers, I think. Takanuvas are over there. Their original designs, however, if I can find them. This might be it. That's like a overall S tier. I don't remember all these generations by name. The Spinnerack were the spiders. I thought the Spinneracks were a lot of fun. They were A tier. The Hordika were B tier. Yeah. Makuda again. Never a bad time. Still technically... Oh man, this list is not like fair, is it? The original team is here. I'll just finish this off because I already started it, but there's not too much input for me to say here. Yeah. D tier. Paracas were S tier. I don't care what anyone says. S tier for Paracas. They had the rap. I liked this generation, didn't like this generation. It was like a Lobby. Kikongu was like over here. Really great figure. Didn't have these. Rockshis are A tier. Sorry. Had to sneeze. Eternui, A tier. No, S tier. Right there. Brutaka is a Bionicle I wish I can get again. I really miss this figure. And I have plans to get him again one day. Hopefully. And yeah, that's my list for that. This was for the waves, like the sets growing up. There's that. And I guess I really know nothing about these villains. That's like the only thing. So I don't know. Yeah, that might be it for my I wanted to do like a better villain one, but the more I think about it, I don't remember a lot of the villains, and we could really go down and try this one, but I don't want to do this. This would be like for another time maybe. This is a lot and I'm overwhelmed by it. I should have probably just started with this one to begin with, but yeah, that's on me. Alright, I'll post my results on Twitter. But as for everything else, that's it. Alright, take it easy. Kind of a short stream today than my normal streams, but that's it. Alright, next week I have a lot of stuff going on. I have a tournament for Valorant and like a few other collabs, but I'll make the list and I'll post it up post up my schedule on my Monday, your guys' Sunday. All right, take it easy, everyone.